YouTube, what's up, baby? Back in this thing again for another review. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie. And today, we're going to be talking about Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai Season 5, Episode 2, entitled Mole. Alright, now if you've been to the channel before, you already know how we do it. We started off with the premise, 3 favorite scenes, the grade, and then we on to the next one, right? So again, Cobra Kai Season 5, Episode 2, entitled Mole. Alright, so for this episode, we start off in Okinawa. It's the year 1972, where we see a young Chosen being trained with other students by his uncle. Then we jump to Terry talking to his students about, the new senseis that he's, hiring for Cobra Kai. And then we see, we already know from the last episode, Chosen's one of the senseis, but we see Chosen chooses to work with Tori. And then we go to Johnny and Robbie, and they are still looking for Miguel, right? And then they end up getting their van towed away. So, they kind of, if you're going to look for somebody, you're going to need a car, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, so we see that Miguel is still at Hector's, he's still at Hector's house. So Miguel is still at Hector's house. And then, Hector and Miguel end up talking for a little bit. We find out that Luis isn't even actually Hector's, biological father. Like, he didn't have him. So, the kid, Luis, must have, definitely is his mother's child. But, and like I said, I'm not even sure if Hector's just going out with this girl or he's married to this girl. But either way, because he's going out with this girl, whatever title may be, boyfriend or husband, in return, Luis is kind of like his son. You know what I'm saying? And then Hector says he doesn't want to have any more kids of his own. But he does explain he had a relationship once that didn't work out. And that would basically be the relationship with Carmen, you know what I'm saying? Hector invites Miguel to go somewhere with him. And I didn't know the name of the place because I didn't write it down. But basically it's like a fight club. So that's where Hector invites Miguel to go out to. And so, Miguel agrees to go with Hector. Then we see Tori training with Chosen. Terry comes over to watch them, and he learns that Chosen knows Tang Sudo. And it interests him because this is a style that his sensei taught him. So, he's interested for sure. So we see basically Chosen is basically making a good impression on Terry. You know what I'm saying? Then we jump to Robbie and Johnny, and they're trying to get money. So they stumble in, and they found a way. They stumble into like a pepper challenge eating contest. So Robbie enters in, to win so he can get money. But it's not gonna be that easy. You know what I'm saying? Peppers, that's no joke, bruh. But either way, he's gonna have some diarrhea in order to get that money. So he ain't even tripping. Miguel ends up calling his mom to confront her because she lied to him saying that like his father knew about him and he wanted them to go, like he wanted Carmen to still leave. But in all reality, we find out that Hector didn't even know about Miguel. He didn't even know that Carmen was pregnant. Carmen just ended up leaving. So he confronts her about that. But she says, I had to do what I had to do because your father's a dangerous person. You just don't see it yet. But believe me, like, he's a dangerous person and stuff like that, right? And we don't even see that yet, you know what I'm saying? But regardless, he gets pissed off. He hangs up and he goes to hang out with Hector as planned. Then we go back to Robbie and Johnny, and we see Robbie still holding his own in the contest, the pepper eating contest, and he ends up winning. You know what I'm saying? So they get the money they need in order to, get the van back. Then we see Chosen is invited to Terry's house for dinner, and he accepts, and so he's gonna end up going there. And like I said, the plan is going smooth for the mole. You know what I'm saying? Tori talks to. Then we go to Tori talks to Terry about paying the ref. You know what I'm saying? Last season when she won the tournament, and he does tell her that, look, like, you did win on your own free will. It's just I paid extra to make sure that you would win. You feel me? But you did win and everything like that. Now if you want to leave because of this, I understand. I'm not gonna stop you. But if you stay, then I'm gonna make you the face of Cobra Kai. So she has a decision to make, right? Then from there we go back to Johnny and Robbie, and we see they got the van back. We find out how Robbie really won. He didn't even eat the last pepper. It's like supposed to be the hottest one. He didn't really eat the last pepper, so he fooled everybody. Johnny gets a call from Carmen. She says Miguel is with his dad, and she tells Johnny where they may be at. So now Johnny and Robbie are headed there. From there, we see Miguel and Hector. They get to the place that they were going to, which was like the Fight Club. And they talk about how Hector got his money in the past. And, Miguel starting to see that, his father is, he is like an evil person, you feel me? But he ends up telling Hector, Hector ends up telling Miguel, like, that was my past life. Like, I'm here where I'm at now, and I'm just, I'm living the way I'm supposed to be living. I'm living the right way type stuff, right? And then from there we see Daniel and Chosen, and Chosen is actually getting ready to go to dinner with Terry. And so he's just talking over things with Daniel, making sure everything is good, So he about to go ahead and go to this dinner. And then, so Chosen arrives at Terry's house. Chosen and Terry talk about a few things. And Terry sees that, Chosen has some things in common with him, with himself. So, obviously that's why he's bonding with him so fast. And then from there we see Robbie and Johnny, and they make it to the Fight Club where Miguel is and Hector is as well. And as they are, looking for Hector, one of the prize fighters overhears that they are looking for Hector, and being that Hector, is like, I don't know if he was like a drug lord or something like that, whatever it may be, but like the prize fighter that works for Hector calls Hector and lets him know that, hey, there's some white dudes looking for you, whatever it may be. They got FBI shirts on. And even though they got FBI shirts on that look like real FBI shirts on, if you look at the back of this shirt, it says female body inspector, which was like something that, like I used to joke around with when I was in school and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, he lets him know, and so Hector, um, is now notified that there's some dudes randomly looking for him. Plus, he just met Miguel, and Miguel, came out of nowhere, so he starts to question Miguel, like, you know, um, who are you? Who were you on the phone with yesterday? And so Miguel gives Hector his phone, and then Hector goes through it, and he like opens up Miguel's shirt, and there's no microphone or whatever. So that obviously he's not in cahoots with the cops or the FBI, whatever you want to say, right? Right. So like, but he was looking through some pictures, and right as Hector was passing this picture that had Carmen in it, he ended up looking away. So he still doesn't know that Miguel is his son. But looking through his phone, seeing that he didn't have no like, he's not working with the FBI or the cops. This kind of eases his mind a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But he's still worried about the two dudes that are looking for him, which would be Johnny and Robbie in the FBI little T-shirt. So what ends up happening is like Miguel and Hector are on a top level of this like little fight club, and he sees Johnny and Robbie at the lower level with the FBI shirts on. So he tells Miguel, "Hey, let's go somewhere. Let's go somewhere else." So Miguel agrees, and he goes with him. And then we see from there, Johnny sees Miguel and tries to go to him. He tries to get his attention, but before he can, he gets stopped by Hector's prize fighter, and Johnny ends up fighting Hector's prize fighter, and Johnny ends up winning against Hector's prize fighter, but with the help of Robbie. But it's not even cheap, because the dude was getting the Hector's prize fighter was getting help from other people that weren't even in the fight as well. So all's fair in love and war, right? Then we go back to Terry and Chosen, and Terry shows Chosen some katanas. Like he has this little prize room where he has like, a whole bunch of katanas, and probably even other like heirlooms, whatever you want to say, that he's won through auction. So they Chosen ends up seeing like this one sword, and Terry ends up telling him like the backing of that sword and stuff like that, whatever it may be, right? And then we see Terry really is trying to take Chosen in, and he wants him to be his right hand man. And so Chosen agrees to be that for him. So for right now, everything's working as planned. You know what I'm saying? As far as Chosen to become a mole for Daniel, and so he can get the upper hand for Miyagi-Do. Sorry about that. Um, um, then we see Miguel and Hector, and they go to this hideout little spot that Hector has, and they talk about a lot of things. And like I said, Miguel is definitely realizing that his mother was right about his father, and so he ends up leaving from Hector, and he calls his mom, and he's like crying, and he tells his mom like, I'm sorry, and you were right, and I messed up, and just whatever it may be. And just as he's breaking down, Johnny ends up finding Miguel, and Miguel tells his mom that he's coming home, he's gonna be all right. And Miguel, goes and hugs Johnny, and as he's hugging Johnny, he sees that Robbie's with him, and they both kind of have like a little stare down for a second. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they got hit. They got some bad history. You know what I'm saying? So we hope for the future to be brighter, but they got some bad history. So that's warranted right there. Then we see Tori decides to actually stay with Cobra Kai. And then she's like, hey, where's everybody at? Like, because she goes to tell Terry that she's going to stay with Cobra Kai. And then she's like, hey, where's everybody at? To Terry. And he's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. We don't have no practice today. So she leaves. And then Chosen arrives. And then all that's there is him, Chosen, Terry, and the rest of the senseis. And you're like, oh, bro, like, he probably found out, whatever. And yes, that's what happened. Terry finds out that Chosen lied about, who he was and what he's there for. So he sends the other senseis to fight him. And Chosen takes out all the senseis, bro. And after he takes out the senseis, he tells Terry to stay away from Daniel or you'll beg for mercy. And then he leaves. You know what I'm saying? My man Chosen, bro, he ain't playing, bro. Don't play with Chosen. Don't. Anyways, man, that's the premise of the episode. 3 of my favorite scenes would be the pepper eating contest, bro. That was hilarious, and it was even more hilarious when you find out that Robbie did not even truly eat that last pepper, bro. And then when the other guy ate the last pepper, he was like all pissed off. He just spit like milk and the pepper and like on Robbie and Johnny. Like, it was just funny, bro. And also, I eat hot stuff, as you can see if you go on my channel. So, it just kind of hit something at home with me. You know what I'm saying? My second favorite scene would be Johnny and Miguel, bro. When Johnny and Miguel, like, hug each other, and it just was a real emotional scene. Miguel's has gone through a lot, and was still going through a lot at that moment. And just as he was breaking down with his mom on the other end of the phone, here came Johnny, and he came with the warm open arms. You know what I'm saying? And soothed him and made everything all right. And I was like, bro, like that's real love right there. You feel me? Like, that's really, really love. Miguel, the guy that plays Miguel, is a good actor, bro. He's a very good actor. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, my third favorite scene would be Chosen versus the senseis, bro. I thought Chosen was about to be like dead, or he about to go, Johnny, I'm hurt. They got me. No, bro. No phone call needed, bro. Chosen handled all of the senseis, bro, and then turned around to Terry like, if you want this to happen to you, it can happen to you too. But I'm about to walk up out of here, and if you don't leave Daniel alone, it's gonna happen to you regardless, bro. So if I was you, I'd leave Daniel alone. I'm like, yo, Chosen is a G, bro. He is a G. Lone Star Warrior, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, that'll be 3 of my favorite scenes. The grade for this episode is gonna definitely be a 10 out of 10. Great episode, man. Just this season, man. Every season, bro. Every season, every episode is just pure brilliance, and this contains the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, man, 10 out of 10 for me for this episode number 2, Mole. If you guys saw the episode, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I'm Callie. Until next time.